And we back. I just felt like recording a video. I was in a good mood. I just came home. I just passed my driver's written test. The written test, I passed it by 1 point. So I'm in a really good mood. So I was just like, I'm about to go shoot a video. So I think what I'm gonna do today or right now is I'm gonna rank NBA teams in the Western Conference. Part 2 will be the Eastern Conference. Probably gonna come out tomorrow. But yeah, and so that's what it's about to do. We're gonna my rankings are championship contenders, solid playoff teams, playoff pushes, just barely didn't make it, and lottery teams. The first ranking is championship contenders, which is the Lakers and the Clippers. They are currently the 2 and the 3 seed. These are only teams that I consider championship contenders. Both of these teams have played great this year. Paul George is an MVP candidate, way off P, playoff P, whatever you want to call him, MVP season P. Because he's having a great season. Tyronn Lue has been coaching him very well. Paul George is getting up a lot of shots. He's playing well. And you got Nicholas Batum shooting 45% from 3. You got 47, excuse me. And Markieff Morris shooting 45. You got shooters. You got Luke Kennard, who just left my Detroit Pistons, and now he's averaging 15 points. And he's a bucket off that bench. And when playoff P, excuse me, I don't even know what I'm calling playoff P. Paul George was not playing. He put up 20 on the board. Like, he's a really good player off the bench. They still have amazing depth, and they still have amazing defense. Montrezl Harrell was never a big loss to me. The problem with the Clippers last year was they had to get everybody shots. So now you have a 6-man off your team, and I feel like that helps you. You still got Lou Williams who's going to give you buckets. I think he just put up 30 and 10 last night, or like a few nights ago. You still got Patrick Beverly, who's giving you amazing defense, and you still have the third best player in the league, which is Kawhi Leonard, or maybe fourth Curry. But that's not even the point. But the Clippers are still an amazing team, and I don't think that they could beat the Lakers in the 7-game series, but I would not be surprised if it happened. But I really don't want that to happen. The next team is the Los Angeles Lakers, and these are championship contenders. I don't even have to get too deep into it. Their depth is amazing. This team has not played with Anthony Davis for a while, and they're on a 7-game streak. Last time I think they just lost today. I was at driver's training all day, so I really don't know. But last time I checked the NBA app, they were down like 12. But they were down 12 against Detroit and the Thunder, so they might have came back. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see after the video is over. Actually, let me see that right now. So yeah, excuse me on that one. I was wrong though. That was last night when the Lakers played the Nuggets. So they did end up losing, but they were on a 7-game streak before that. And like I was just saying, like the Lakers, they just play extremely well. They haven't even been playing with Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis hasn't even been playing that good, and they're still the 2 seed. I've never seen LeBron play with this much spacing. And their defense is great too. So him as a defender is going up because he's surrounded by defenders. Dennis Schroeder is a great defender. He's able to use his hands in a lot of situations. He's good when like in closing out situations, and he's just a good defender. You got Anthony Davis, who finished second in DPOY last year. You got Marcus Gasol, who stole the Defensive Player of the Year from LeBron. You got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's always just been a 3-and-D guy. You got Kyle Kuzma, who's a good defensive guy. You got Wesley Matthews. They have a lot of defenders and a lot of shooters. LeBron's playing with a lot of space, and he's playing great off the ball. I've seen a lot of people say in previous seasons that LeBron has to play point guard. He needs the ball to score. That's not true. He's proving them wrong this year. He's shooting 41% from 3. So when you have a LeBron James that's shooting 41% from 3, your team's probably all going to be successful. This is probably the best LeBron. You could argue that. I still think 2013 is the best LeBron. But people can argue and make a solid case that this is the best LeBron they've ever seen. And it's not crazy to say that. The next bracket is solid playoff teams or like playoff locks. These are teams that could like make it deep in the playoffs. They could make the conference finals. They can knock on the door of the finals. They may make the finals. They more than likely are like 2nd-round exits though. And these teams are the Suns, Nuggets, and the Jazz. I'm going to first talk about the Jazz because the Jazz are the number 1 seed in the NBA right now. They've only lost 5 games and they're 22-5. But this team gets up a lot of open threes, and they take a lot of threes. They live and die by that 3, and they not dying most of the time. You got Jordan Clarkson and all these other players who can play extremely well off the ball. They got Donovan Mitchell, who they run through the offense through. They got that monster in the paint and Rudy Gobert. He might be overpaid, but he's the reason that they're where they're at right now. Jordan Clarkson, he's averaging like 16. He was finally able to find his home. He's not able to play with Kobe somehow. He wasn't able to play with LeBron somehow. But that boy could play with Rudy Gobert. So that's why the Jazz have been really good because of their depth. They great 3-point shooting team. They're getting up like 53s a game. That's what I like. When they're living and dying by the three, they are literally living and dying by the three. The Nuggets are another playoff lock. They started off the season kind of sluggish, but they have, I think, the guy that's like second in MVP right now, or third. I know the top three is LeBron, Joel, and Jokic at the moment. But they're just amazing. They're just the same team that they were last year. I don't expect this team to go to the conference finals, but I wouldn't be surprised if they happen. They actually have some depth on them. They just need to get better defensively. Your center is Nikola Jokic, and then your four is like Paul Millsap. Then your point guard is Jamal Murray. So that's three non-defenders already in your starting lineup alone. And that's for that reason. And for that reason, I feel like they won't make the conference finals again. But this is the same roster from last year minus Jeremy Grant, which Jeremy Grant was a big minus. He's playing great for Detroit right now. But so the Nuggets are just a good team, and I expect them to be like the 4 seed. I don't think they're going to finish higher than the Clippers, Lakers, or the Jazz. But they're definitely right there. The next team is the Suns, and the Suns have been playing good. The biggest problem I have with the Suns is that they have a lot of good players that can get a bucket, right? But everybody doesn't need to get a bucket. Chris Paul, he's been doing a lot of directing traffic for Ayton and Booker. And I think that Chris Paul is the best thing that could have happened to the Suns and Booker. He just fits too perfectly there. It's like a match made in heaven. Booker does need to get up a little more shots to me. I think a lot of guys are getting more shots than they need, but this team is still just playing great. And the last team is the we on the next bracket. So next is playoff pushes. And this is the Warriors, Spurs, Blazers, Mavs, and Grizzlies. The Spurs are like the 5 seed. So I kind of do kind of crazy saying this, but they're in the West. So that's why I said that. They have been playing really well, though. DeJounte Murray is finally becoming a player that I want him to be, and a lot of NBA fans wanted him to be. He's been suffering injuries and stuff. And he's a 6'4" wing with max wingspan that can defend, and he's able to score now. His biggest thing was scoring. He was always a good defender. I think he made an all-defensive team already in his career, but he's just a great defender, and he's scored from all 3 levels. He has a nasty floater. He's a good passer, and I think he's the best player on that team, if I'm not mistaken. The Mavericks. The Mavericks did not surprise me. People said that Luka, he was the favorite to win MVP by a large margin. They said Giannis wasn't going to win it because of voter fatigue, and I pretty much agree with that. But I didn't see Luka winning it because the MVP award usually goes to the best player on the best team, or at least you have to be the 2 seed. And I did not see the Mavericks being better than the Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Nuggets, or the Suns. I pretty much had them at the 6 seed, and I think they're like the 8 right now. Or no, they're like the 10. They're not even in the playoffs as we speak. They have a lot of defensive struggles. They did get better defensively with Josh Richardson, but they're still a bad defensive team. And also, their offense is still great, though. They had the best offense ever at all time when we talk about numbers last year. And then the offense is pretty much still good. You still got KP, Kristaps Porzingis. He's always injured, but that's still all right. You got Luka Doncic, the man. I think Luka Doncic... He's pretty much like a top 3 passer. I think Luka Doncic is a better passer than Chris Paul. I don't think he's a better passer than LeBron, though. And he's averaging like 30, like always. So this team is going to be a playoff push. They finished as the 7th seed last year. But I still could see them falling out. Next team is the Blazers. The Blazers are like the 6th seed right now. But the Blazers are always injury prone. They're not playing with CJ McCollum right now. Damian Lillard is the reason that they were the 8th seed last year. And he's the reason that he got injured in like game 3 of the first round last year as well. So it's a very injury prone team. Yusuf Nurkic wasn't there as well last year, and CJ McCollum just got injured again, like I just said. So due to their injury proneness, I do not see them just being locks. Like you can count on them to make the playoffs. It can easily slip out of their hands. Next team is the Warriors, and Stephen Curry is doing a heck of a carry job. Like, who is his help? A rookie James Wiseman, Draymond Green, Kelly Oubre, and Andrew Wiggins. I think Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins both won like the first 7 games without hitting a 3. Like, that team is Curry is just amazing. People were saying how Curry, his legacy was on the line if he couldn't make the playoffs with this team, but this team sucks. Like, on paper, Andrew Wiggins is like a 19 point per game scorer. I don't know what he's doing this year, but last year I know he's like 19 points per game. And then Kelly was averaging like 18 or 16. No, they freaking suck. So this is a team that's like the AC right now, but they could easily slip out of the playoffs. I understand they're only like a game behind the Nuggets, who I consider playoff locks. But the Nuggets are just a way better team. They could shake that off easily and turn it up. I don't see the Warriors just turning up out of nowhere. It's not like they have Clay to look forward to. He's not coming back this season. He's not coming back to next season. So the Warriors are gonna be a play-in tournament team. They're gonna be in that 7 through 10 range. And they can make the playoffs, but no higher than the 7 seed. That's that on them. The Grizzlies, I don't have too much to say on them. Ja was out recently, and he just came back recently. This is another team, just a perennial playoff team. They might make it, they might not make it. They were supposed to be the 8th seed. Going into the bubble, they were the 8th seed, and I thought that they were going to keep it because they were like a lot of games ahead of everybody, but they choked it away. So I can see the same thing happening this year. They're not in the playoffs right now, but they can go on a winning streak. They have a good young core and Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant, and they still have a nice center and Joseph Valanciunas. And we have a point guard that dominates in the paint, and you have a 4 and a 5 that can shoot it. That's always going to be a good team, or a team at least to watch out for. The teams I think that are just barely not going to make it are the Pelicans, Kings, and the Rockets. I really do not blame the Rockets for not making the playoffs. They've done good with what they have. They had a new coach. They had going into the season, they had just picked up Christian Wood. They had just got John Wall. They had just got DeMarcus Cousins. And in that season, the beginning of the season and the stretch where James Harden was with this team, there's a lot of drama going on. There's a lot of chemistry issues. James Harden not want to play. You know, he was at the strip club and all that, but they was able to work with what they had. Then James Harden left. So you have to reorganize the team again with Victor Oladipo, and they're not doing bad. They're doing good with what they have. So I don't really blame them. But I do think that they would just barely not make it. I think they'll be like an 11 seed. And for the Pelicans and the Kings, it's the same. They have the same story as each other. Just young teams that are just not ready yet. I did think the Pelicans were going to be ready this year. Because like on paper, you got Lonzo Ball, you got Zion, who he's playing really good. He's quickly becoming underrated. Since LaMelo, I guess the league got a new baby that they want to talk about. So everybody's just talking about Melo. We completely forgot about Zion. Zion's playing great. You still have Brandon Ingram. You got Josh Hart. You got JJ Redick. You got Bledsoe, and then you got Steven Adams. So when I watch this team play, they're pretty fun to watch. And I don't understand why they don't win a lot of games. But I mean, it's just a paper thing, you know. On paper, it's always gonna be good, but they gotta actually go out there and execute. And the last tier of teams is lottery teams, the Wolves and the Thunder. And I did not expect the Wolves to be this bad. I understand Cat ain't played but 6 games, but I still didn't expect them to be this bad. I don't think Cat is gonna turn it around too much. Not saying that Cat is not an impactful player, because we know that Cat is a beast. But yeah, that's definitely a lottery team. As far as the Thunder, they sitting exactly where they want to sit. With all them first round picks, they probably gonna be like the 2028 champions to the 2040 champions. Cause like they got a lot of first round picks, and the Clippers, man, I'm not even gonna get off track, but yeah. So that's the lottery teams. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.